Okay, good morning, everyone. We're happy to have you join us for YPN Goes Virtual's next event, which is Get Involved and Evolve. Um, During the session, we're excited to kind of give you an overview about how volunteering on the association level works and how you might be able to join a leadership team and kind of calm your nerves whenever it comes to just jumping into the world of volunteering. I do have some very important people to introduce to you today. None of our classes, events, or anything would be possible without our affiliate partners. So first, we have joining us our Platinum affiliate partner, Freedom Mortgage. We have Victor Arvello here to speak with you today. Take it away, Victor.
Good morning, and thank you. Thank you so much for that. Hope you're all having a fantastic week so far and are killing it with new deals and existing deals right now. I know the market's hot. We're busy, everybody, with refis and new deals coming in. My name, like Marisa mentioned, is Victor Arvello. I am a bilingual loan officer with the home team of Freedom Mortgage. And it's a pleasure and an honor for us at Freedom to sponsor the Greater Tampa Realtors to bring value and support to local real estate professionals in the industry overall. We are proud to be a top national mortgage provider, a strong leader in government-insured lending, and also a top leading VA lender in the U.S. for more than 25 years. We salute and respect each and every one of you for taking the time, not only to invest in your knowledge and education, but also for supporting and being part of your local organizations like Greater Tampa Realtor. It is busy season for our industry, and rates are ridiculously low, and there are no better time for new buyers and for existing buyers either to refi or to buy a new property. So if you have any deals that you want to send over to me, and we can go through them. If you need any advice with new first-time home buyers or other deals that you might need a second opinion, either in Spanish or in English, please feel free to reach out to me or any of our team here at Freedom Mortgage, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Victor. We appreciate you being here with us today. You always pick the most engaging and fun classes and webinars to sponsor, so we're happy to have you here. I'm not plugging at what's to come or anything, but we're very excited. Next, we have our silver affiliate partner. We have Bridget Wilson from Cardinal Roofing and Solar Technology. So take it away, Bridget.
Hi, everybody. Most of you guys know me. I'm Bridget with Cardinal Roofing. I'm a licensed roofing contractor myself. You know what, because of the people that are on the group today, one of the best things that we have to offer is if you would like any education for your real estate group, I would love to be able to, social distance, of course, either in person or via Zoom, be able to give any educational classes for free, just for things to look out for realtors, to be able to answer any questions, to be able to help you guys be as educated as you can with the buildings that you have listed or are purchasing. So I am always there for you guys. Our company is always there for you guys for any questions that you may have. It is rainy season. It is a very weird rainy season. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Very odd. Lots of very interesting phone calls that we have had. Many times we tell people that they don't actually have a problem. It's because of how crazy the rains have been. So we have no problem telling people that you don't have a problem either. So give us a call whenever you get a chance, or feel free to, you can always call or text me. Our office line is 813-689-7663. And my cell phone, if you ever want to text over questions to me, I have quite a few realtors that do that. Feel free. It's 813-478-ROOF. You can just shoot me over a quick text of a question. Even if it's a generalized construction question, I typically know more than the average bear. And if I don't know, I'll very simply say, I have no idea what that is. But I would love to be able to make sure you guys have as much information as you can for all of your real estate needs. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you very much, Bridget. We appreciate your involvement here. Our goal here is to kind of break down volunteering into 5 different categories of questions. We want to help you answer how to get involved in leadership, why you should, what exactly that means. So Next, we're just going to introduce our fabulous panelists here today. We're going to start with Darlene, who is our 2020 GTR president. So just tell us briefly a little bit about yourself, Darlene.
Good morning, Marissa. Thank you all for being here, and thank you to our affiliates. We appreciate you so much. So I am Darlene Davenport, your 2020 president. A little bit about me. I arrived in Tampa in 2005 and started real estate after a 21-year career in another profession and knew one person in Tampa Bay. So with that, connected into Tampa and started working and getting involved with Greater Tampa in 2012. And 2013, we did our first chili cook-off at Curtis Hickson Park, which was awesome, and have enjoyed the journey since 2012 with Greater Tampa.
Thank you, Darlene. Next, we're going to hear from Ellie, our president-elect. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Ellie?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Glad that you all could be here this morning. I am Ellie Lambert, your president-elect. I, unlike Darlene, I'm a native here, born and raised here in Tampa, and I've always pretty much been a people person and was encouraged to get my real estate license because I had sales background. So I did 27 years ago. I got licensed, and in 2003, I decided I needed to take that to the next level, and I became a broker owner of my company. I got involved in serving at GTR about 6 years ago. And then, you know, each and every year I wanted to do a little bit more with the association because you get more involved and you become, you know, you just get thirsty and you say, I want a little bit more. So I decided to do that on different levels, and I haven't looked back. I love it. I love the interaction and all that it has to offer.
Lovely, Ellie. We appreciate you being with us. We already have people in the chat box talking about what a rock star you are, so you must be. Next, yes. Next, we're very happy. Yes, we got cheerleaders. Next, we're very happy to hear from Ruth Bryson. She is our 2020 GTR Vice President. So tell us about yourself, Ruth.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ruth Bryson, broker owner of Bryson International Realty. Have been in real estate and leadership for over 25 years. Retired Army officer. I love serving. I believe leaders have a responsibility to grow and mentor future leaders. That is why I am excited to be here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth, and we're very excited to have you. Next, we have Sherman Milton here joining us. He is our Vice Chair of the Young Professionals Network, the host of today's class, as well as a 2020 GTR Director. So tell us about yourself, Sherman.
Good morning, folks. How's it going? My name is Sherman Milton III, and I've been a realtor for 4 years now. Absolutely love what I do. Live up in the Dade City area. I was a part of the East Pasco Association before the merger, and I've been involved in leadership now for 2 years, and I absolutely love being a part of YPN.
Excellent, excellent. And next we have Ashley here joining us. She is another GTR Director. Tell us about yourself.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on. I'm Ashley Christie, and as Marissa said, I am currently on the board of directors. I got involved with GTAR pretty much a year after I got my license. I was licensed in 2012 and then started with the Young Professionals Network and attending events. I got my broker's license in 2017, and this year decided to open up my own brokerage. So that's been exciting, and I've met great people through getting involved. So looking forward to sharing more of that with you guys.
Thank you very much, Ashley. And last but not least, we'd like to introduce Grace, who is on staff at Greater Tampa Realtors as our Director of Education and Member Development.
Hello, everyone. As Marissa said, my name is Grace Smith. I'm kind of the odd duck out of this group, but I am a staff person. So I was in real estate prior to moving over to the association side up in Chicago. And then I moved over to the association side about 5 years ago now, I guess. And I have been with Greater Tampa Realtors since 2017. So thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. Now that we have our introductions out of the way, we're going to really jump into why you're here, the content. So first, we want to delve into the why of volunteering and leadership. Why exactly should you jump into this? We have a few questions already prepared, but if you think of something, feel free to drop it in the Q&A, and I'd be happy to read it out to whoever you'd like to propose it to. But first, we want to kind of just go over what the benefits and opportunities of being involved are. So we'll start with this question with Darlene, our president. Would you like to talk about the benefits and the opportunities that arise with jumping into volunteerism in the association level?
Absolutely, thank you. So being involved, the benefits of being involved personally gives you so much as an individual. It gives you the opportunity to be on top of your business. You are volunteering as a leader and getting involved. So it's giving of your time. But in addition to that, I have enjoyed the journey and staying involved and engaged to have an understanding of governmental affairs, a political party. There is so much happening at the association, no matter what your interest. If you get involved, it gives back to you with a wealth of information that in turn helps you in your business to grow and flourish as well. What do you bring to the table in that benefit for the association as well? Everyone brings something. It's what your interest and passion is, your vision, and bring it forward. But the benefit is far greater of giving back to you as someone involved with the association.
Okay, do any of you other panelists have anything to contribute, maybe that Darlene didn't touch on as far as hidden benefits or opportunities in getting involved? Ashley?
Another opportunity is just the people that you meet and the networking and connections that you make, whether it's on the local level or if you get involved meeting other agents across the state or across the country, and then touching again on what Darlene said with governmental affairs, and getting involved and going to Tallahassee for some events, that those opportunities that I wouldn't have known about, or even issues that I didn't know about before, I was made aware of because of my involvement.
Gotcha. Okay, Ellie.
And to add to that, because they've hit it right on the bullseye, but you do realize that you can be a voice for the industry, not just as an agent, but representing property owners and homeowners' rights. And you can be that voice for change, which is happening, evolving in the world that we live in. And governmental affairs and RPAC, like Darlene and Ashley spoke, it really, I believe, is the core of who the association really is, because you gain so much knowledge when you are a part of that. It's very exciting because you continue to grow with learning more and more from each committee meeting, or like Ashley said, going to Tallahassee. It's so exciting.
Awesome, awesome. We appreciate the three of you outlining that. Ruth, did you have something to contribute? I didn't see your hand. Okay.
The key is you can sit back and complain about what's right and what's not so right. But when you get involved, you have the opportunity to actually make a difference. That is a very rewarding thing to do. You need to be the solution, part of the solution to problem, not the problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. I'm going to direct this to Sherman, since we didn't hear from him with the last question. Why exactly did you get involved? Was it for one of the listed reasons that we just heard? Was it pure circumstance? You were just thrown into it?
So I actually got involved for the same exact thing that Ruth just brought up. I was a part of a different association, and I was new to the industry, and I come from, you know, a marketing advertising background, and I was complaining to my broker about, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that, why aren't they doing it this way? And she simply looked at me, she was like, you know, if you don't like it, you need to change it. Why don't you get involved with the association? And I was like, you know what? Why not? I can do it. And that's when I got involved, and it's been great ever since then.
Wonderful. I mean, yeah, that's it. You said 2 or 3 years involved already, so you got it and you stuck with it, right? I feel like once you do step into that position, it's hard to kind of step back. You want to be in charge. So, okay, I don't see any extra questions kind of in our why category, so we'll kind of move into the who should get involved, the types of people that should be attracted to it. So that is our first question is, who do you guys think should be jumping into association volunteerism and into leadership? Is there a specific type of person in this industry that should be attracted to it, or is it kind of anybody? We'll start with Ellie for this one.
Anyone that has ideas that you want to positive changes, you want to expand your knowledge, you just want to become more educated on you know, the inner workings of the association. So I believe anybody could be a fit. Okay.
Anybody else have anything else to contribute, something different? Ruth?
You must have a servant's heart. That means you're willing to serve, but more important, you're willing to work as a team with others to make the change. You can't do it all by yourself. I will tell you who should not be volunteering.
Okay.
Self-serving know-it-alls. When you think you know everything, you stifle innovation and you prevent the people who actually have meaningful input. They shut down and eventually they go away. So if you have a servant's heart and you're willing to work as a team with others, learn and grow, it's for you.
We love to hear it. Grace?
Something else from the staff side that I've seen is you don't have to be in the business for 15, 20 years in order to get involved. You don't have to know everything about everything in order to participate in some of our committees on our board of directors. Somebody who stands out to me, aside from Sherman, who's on this call, he started, we met him in his GRI class, and I believe he was taking it for post-license, brand new agent, started getting involved on different committees. He became the chair of the professional development committee, and now he's on our executive committee. So he's been in the business for, I believe, less than 5 years, and he has really just risen, and you can see his leadership spirit, but also his servant heart. So people like that are just going to thrive in this industry, but you don't have to know everything about everything. We're here as staff to make you look good. We're here to help you and to guide you as well so that you don't step on any landmines, but also so that we can all work together. And some of those new spirits are the ones that are going to just take us to the next level. So you don't have to be in the industry forever in order to get involved.
Awesome, awesome. Anybody else have anything to contribute before we move on to our next question?
Yes, Marissa, it's well said from Grace that the young ones, I look at Sherman and Ashley and how they've connected outside, you know, going to Miami to participate in one of their committee meetings, taking the initiative to step out there. No matter what you bring, whether it's technology, you work in fair housing, or you're, you know, that geek, someone that has some other knowledge that's new and innovative, have the vision, the innovation. And just because someone's sitting at that table that has 15, 20 years difference or experience in the business, don't let them shut you down from your voice, because they might not look at it the same way as you do. You have a voice, bring it forward. Your ideas, your innovation is new and inspiring, and I've seen it right here with some of you on this panel, how you've come forward and brought some great ideas, spoke up, and got involved, got engaged. So everyone can make a difference.
Anything from Ashley to close us out?
I think everyone
Okay.
hit it on the head with their answers.
Hi, Sherman.
Hey, can I tag on to what Darlene just said? Darlene, you made some great points. I agree. So with me, prime example, I was intimidated when, I was running to be a director, and I actually thought about dropping out because I was like, hey, I'm coming from association of 200 to an association over 12,000, and I'm so young. I don't have the experience that a lot of these other folks have years wise. And I was definitely intimidated, but I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and give it a try. Jumped in, and I've learned a lot from these individuals, and I've also been able to share a lot and bring some, a different perspective to the table coming from where I came from. So I think a lot of younger folks, if you are intimidated, don't let that stop you. You should definitely try it out and see what you can bring to the table and how you can benefit the association, because there's something that you can give us and some type of perspective that you can help us with.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. And it's funny too, because in all of your answers, we've touched on kind of the next two questions of who. Ruth did kind of outline who should steer clear of our volunteerism, no know-it-alls. And we did touch on that. You don't actually need any specific previous work or volunteer experience in becoming a director. To our directors, is there anything that you would maybe recommend jumping into if you are interested in becoming a director in the future, maybe to set you apart? Ashley?
I think starting with getting involved on committees. So even if you don't know which committee that you want to serve on, there's quite a few. So you can just test them out, or even see if you can go to a meeting as a guest, which most of the time I would think should not be a problem, and just feel out what you're passionate about, whether it be getting involved with the community and community outreach or governmental affairs, for example. So just starting to test it out. And then once you find a committee that you like and want to stick with, from there, taking it to the next level and kind of moving up and seeing what you can do as a director.
Excellent, excellent. And then next, just kind of to wrap out this category of the who, is there anyone that inspires your leadership or volunteer style personally? For this one, I'd like to start with Sherman.
Sweet, perfect. So there's too many folks that, I get excited about, and I've learned so much just from sitting in the room and listening and watching the way, they hold meetings, just how they react. Because one of the biggest takeaways I've gotten so far this year is that it's not about me. It's whenever I make a decision, I'm like, it's about those 12,000 plus members. And I've been able to learn that from, other folks that are other directors on the board, as well as, the other leadership team is like, wow, like it's so much larger than them. And a lot of the things that they do has inspired me. And it was really changed the way that I look at YPN. Is like, hey, there's these other younger agents that I want to help inspire, and I want to help mold them, just because I have these folks, that are directors and on the leadership team that are doing that for me. And I love the way that they run different things, and it's taught me a lot.
Awesome. Anybody else want to spotlight anybody that inspires your leadership or volunteerism?
That right there is inspiring to me. Someone like a Sherman and the Ashleys that are coming forward and giving it their all. And look how far Sherman has came. Look how far Ashley has came today. To see what they've accomplished and what they want to accomplish and get involved, that's inspiring.
Wonderful. We have we chose you all because you're quite inspiring individuals yourself. So we're very happy to have you here. Next, we're going to move on to kind of the bulk of our questions, I think. It's going to be the what's involved in volunteering and in leadership. So first, we're going to start with what types of committees and leadership positions are available at Greater Tampa Realtors? That might be a good question for Grace to kind of outline, since she's involved in maybe half of them. Take it away, Grace.
It might be over half at this point.
Yeah.
But yes, we do have, I believe it's 27 different committees at Greater Tampa Realtors, and this ranges everything from government affairs, as stated before, to you can get involved in the Realtor Political Action Committee, which raises money for political initiatives and homeownership rights. Then we also have our Professional Development Committee, our Property Managers Forum. We have a commercial committee, a global committee. We've got you can sit on professional standards and grievance to see when realtors go bad. I mean, there's so many different opportunities to get involved, all the way up to the board and our executive committee. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get involved. And I think that there really is something for everyone. Our Young Professionals Network is not just for young people. It's for new to the business and young people. They can all get involved and commingle. But one of the things that I think is really cool about our Young Professionals Network is we also have some experienced agents who have been in the business for a while, who can almost act as mentors to our new agents who are just getting involved. So if you have a question about like something that's going on in a transaction, there are some more experienced agents that will come to our events and come to our different sessions and participate with you. So especially when we're in person and we can all have a drink together, it gets a lot easier. But I know personally, I had, when I first got into the business, I had Young Professionals Network on my side, and I went to one event and I was hooked on YPN. It's just great to be able to talk to people who are going through some of the same things as you. And sometimes you just want to talk about how much people suck. I mean, sometimes you just need to unwind and talk about it. So it's great to be able to have that experience, and also have all these different ways to get involved. So if you're not a new agent or feeling awkward about going to a Young Professionals event, but hey, maybe I'm really involved in global and I do a lot of global real estate transactions, there's a global subcommittee that provides events for all of our global counsel. So different ways to get involved is very exciting, and you will see information coming out soon. I know I'm kind of jumping the gun, Marissa, but we do have a question, I believe, about this. So committee signups do come out in the fall of every year for Greater Tampa Realtors. So on the local level, getting involved with GTR, our committee signups will be coming out. They usually come out right around dues billing, which is happening on October 1st. So right around that time, you'll start seeing some information about our committees, different ways to get involved, different committees that'll be up for 2021. And you can nominate yourself, you can nominate others for committees, and then we usually will meet with our president-elect and our leadership team to determine our committee members for the following year. So appointments are made in the fall, late fall. It might even be into December, but we do try to let everybody know as soon as possible what committees they have been appointed to and what are going to be the responsibilities of that committee. But there's so many opportunities to get involved on the local level, and I'm just speaking for the local level, not even the state or national. There's even more opportunities to get involved once you have broken into the local level too.
No, and I know we have a few of you are involved in our state and national level. That's our next question. Does the format or the types of committees differ on the state and national level, or are they closely mirrored? Who would like to speak to that? Ruth.
The committees are virtually the same. For example, at the Florida's Realtors meeting last month, you know, you have similar committees, professional development. They may call them different things, but having served at the state and national levels, the committees that we have at the local levels are similar to the ones at the state and national level. You just have to go on to the websites, look at the descriptions, and decide which ones pique your interest. Keep in mind, as a dues-paying GTR member, you could attend any meeting, you just can't vote. There you will find people who would either inspire you or bring you to the conclusion, maybe I need to find another committee. but you can, that's how you find your niche, Just get involved.
Wonderful. Ellie?
Yeah, I want to just piggyback off of that because that's so true. Ruth, I know for me, the first time that I had attended Florida Realtors, you're not like, you're kind of overwhelmed. And fortunately for me, I had someone that, took me by the arm and said, come on, sit in on this meeting, see what you think, get a feel for it. And I just think attending is so important. This is our industry. This is our business. We should be as educated as we possibly can on every level. Especially if you're taking your business seriously, you need to know and understand what is taking place local, state, and on national levels. So again, if you're not sure, I know, just look for me, grab a hold of me, shoot me a text. I'm open to anybody. Say, hey, I want to go, but I don't know where to go. I don't know what I should be sitting in on. Come on, sit with me. Let's see. Let's sit together and see if it's something you have interest in. And the same on our local level. Come in, sit in on a committee. So like Ruth said, get involved. It's so important.
Mm-hmm. No, it's so important to get involved. And does anybody else have anything to just kind of contribute before we move on to the next question? I think we pretty much covered it. Next, we want to kind of hear what the responsibilities or duties are for your specific role. So first, I'd like to start with our directors. So we'll start with Ashley first.
As directors, we are, part of the time commitment is typically meeting once a month for a board meeting. That typically is a few hours. Occasionally we have special meetings in between, and then our roles and responsibilities are to the members of the association and to make decisions that are going to impact them financially. Any committees that bring a motion to the board of directors that require something along budget lines, we're going to make final decisions on to make sure that we're doing everything to benefit the members and using the money that comes from dues responsibly. So time commitment and then commitment to the members and making the best decisions.
Wonderful. Great synopsis. Sherman, is there anything else to kind of tack on to those duties, or does that pretty much cover it?
That's everything. Ashley hit
okay.
Right on the head. Thank you.
Okay. Now we'll hear from Ruth next. What do your duties kind of look like as our vice president?
Great. One of the things we select the speakers. The vice president is responsible for selecting the speakers for the general membership meetings. You're encouraged to attend state, local, and national levels if you can. You work closely with the president and president-elect, and you just do what you can to make the association look fabulous.
I like that synopsis. Ellie, how about you as our president-elect? What are you responsible for?
Yeah, very similar. When you hit leadership, some of the same duties do, go upline. So you attend as many meetings as you possibly can. We have, of course, general membership meetings that you are required to be at. You've got your Florida Realtors Convention, leadership midwinter meetings twice a year, January and August. You do perform any duties assigned by the president. You work in conjunction. You collaborate with the executive team. You're appointing your vice chairs the year that you are elected as president-elect. And then you are appointing your Florida directors. And then you do serve as chair of installation. You're a member of finance. You chair the strategic planning committee, and it is a 1-year term. So I hope I haven't left something out, but I may have.
No worries. If you left anything out, I'm sure that we can, you'll get lots of questions later on that you'll be able to answer. And Darlene, will you go over kind of what it looks like to be a GTR president?
So the board is tasked with the government of the association. So as president, you carry out the instructions of the board of directors and enforce policy, bylaws, and there's many other tasks that come with it. You get a call and you need an interview in 2 hours with the local media. Have your stats ready, have your numbers together, because you've got to pivot and do. There's many things behind the scenes that you look at, you analyze, and as it's been said here today, you know, those relationships throughout the United States have been so wonderful for me. This morning at 7:30 was a 3-way call with 2 other presidents, just understanding what they're doing, collaborating, and seeing, you know, their direction, how they're handling. Those relationships have supported me in understanding how we can get through this unusual year with COVID as well. So it's been a little unusual, and never have we operated in the manner that we have today, but the tasks are endless.
Great. And Grace, will you speak a little bit to how staff aids our leadership in these roles, maybe what a staff liaison is and such like that?
Sure. So as I said before, I'm staff liaison to a lot of different committees. So each one of our staff members, particularly our upper management staff, is a staff liaison. And what that means is we are essentially assigned to different committees, particularly ones that fit our job that we are working daily. And we work with the chair and the vice chair to create the agenda. We are there as a knowledge source from the association side during the committee meetings. We have a lot of the history, as do some of the committee members, but we make sure that there's no policies being violated, that there's no antitrust issues going on throughout the meeting. And then we also bring updates from the association. After the meetings, we take the minutes and then send those off to the board of directors for review. And we are also responsible for communicating with the committees throughout the month and implementing some of the awesome ideas that our committees come up with. So for example, with our professional development committee, I'm the director of education, so I'm the staff liaison to the professional development committee. They create the curriculum for the year, and it is my responsibility to contract with the instructors and get people into the classes. And then I report back on how that class went, survey results, and hey, would you like to host this class again? Different things like that. And then there's other committees as well that we work with in different ways, but education's very easy to show. And then also we get to work with our awesome board of directors and our executive committee. We remind Ellie when she forgets things. So I'll send you emails if you forget anything. And we just try and keep everything on track, make sure that we don't miss any deadlines. And we're just really there to support our board of directors and our leadership team.
And I think that's a really good bridge kind of going into our next question, because our staff is there to make sure that you are not alone. Our next question is, how do you selling real estate and being involved in the association? So I'll have Ellie start to speak with that.
Well, I definitely have to have a team in place at this point. I think it depends on where you are in leadership. For me personally, to be able to do and move forward with the role that I have there, I do have to have some folks help me. Fortunately, my home life's not really affected because I'm single. I don't have any little kids. I just have Teddy, which is my 4-legged fur baby. So he's easy to handle. But at work, I do have an office manager. I do have an admin. Being the broker, I do have 54 agents that I can rely on if I need to be, my attention needs to be with the association or with a member that needs me. So that's how I'm able to do it. And of course, I I'm in a position where most of my business comes from referrals. So you do have those folks that sometimes they just want you, and I am able to work with those people as well.
See, who else would like to speak to that? Ruth?
Time management is key.
Mm-hmm.
You got to manage your time effectively, and you have to learn how to diplomatically say, no, not at this time. You have to establish your priorities. Plus, you have to collaborate with I collaborate with other brokers so that if I can't do something, they will help me out and vice versa. But if you can't manage your time, you're going to be overwhelmed sooner rather than later.
Great. Sherman?
The only other thing that I would add is that I do is I'm very organized on my calendar. If it's not on my calendar, it does not happen. And I agree with Ruth. Like, so just like Ellie, I have folks at my office that can jump in and help me out from time to time, but it's okay to reach out to other folks with different brokerages. Great friends, prime example, me and Ashley, we do this all the time. I mean, I've been on vacation and I called Ashley, like, hey, can you do this for me? And she's had my back. And so if you have, great friends in the industry that you can trust, you can always reach out to them, and they can help you out from time to time whenever you get overwhelmed or whenever you're busy, and just help you out with those different things. Keep you on task and help you do all these different things throughout the association.
Ashley, Darlene, do you have any different strategies, or did they about cover it?
Good points. And to Ruth's point, you've got to be able to say no, because think about our industry, our business. Mm-hmm. It's not a retail open 9 to 5 and you're open for business and it's there. Our business comes when it comes. And in addition to that, you've got to be committed to your time and your responsibilities. The days start very early and they go very late. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, knowing who to reach out to. I love what Sherman said. I can reach out beyond my office, beyond my brokerage, and get a friend to jump in. That's what it's all about. And those are the relationships that you gather by being involved, is that you've made those friends and you collaborate and you grow from that. But in addition, you've got someone that's got your back when you're in that time of need. So I've reached out to Ellie. We have a set time and, we collaborate, we go through and we vent to one another. Ruth has been a rock. You reach out and you say, hey, look at this. We don't always agree, but at least you've got someone that's got your back and that can get you back on track and that you can manage that time and keep going forward.
Okay, so for our next question, we have, what do you think is the hardest part about being involved, about volunteering, about leadership? We'll start with Ashley for that one.
One of the things is time management, as everyone was discussing. And sometimes it is clashes of personalities at different meetings, to be honest, because that can be difficult when there are differing opinions and how to present that information in a respectful way, or feeling that maybe some people don't always present it in a way that you agree with, but you definitely learn from those experiences. That I would say that is it, and just really taking the time to commit. You have to commit. So outside of whatever else you're doing, when you're on a committee or you have something to do or you're assigned, you have to stick with committing to it, which I know when things are crazy and people's schedules are crazy, that can be difficult for people to do sometimes.
Does anybody else have anything specific that they struggle with, or is it mainly that time management and that sometimes that clash of personalities?
Ashley was spot on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's right. Managing time and managing personalities. We're in the service industry and, that's going to be your struggle. But if you've got the time, give it your all.
Absolutely. Can you speak to a different struggle, Grace?
Well, I also just kind of to follow up with Ashley, I don't think that anybody is ever, combative because they want to be. It's all comes down to like passion. So I think that one of the hardest things that I have seen is understanding that everybody's coming from a great place. It's just some people just don't know how to like channel that energy and that passion in a nice way, but they're still trying to accomplish the same goal that you are. They're trying to represent the membership and trying to look out for the best interest of the membership. So I think understanding that and never taking anything personally, because I think 95% of the time it's not personal. It's just that they feel very strongly about what you are discussing or what we're going for. So, and it doesn't happen as much at the committee as it does at the board level. I think that's where true passion can come out, and it's keeps it exciting.
I will say, yeah, even if we do get into some heated discussions in the boardroom, when we step out of the boardroom, I think everyone there is on good terms because we have that understanding that it is passion that's involved. But yes, when you step out of there, any of the people that are serving on the board that are colleagues, I know that I could always call for anything regardless of what we may disagree on.
Yeah, it's fun to see people in heated arguments and then they walk out and they're hugging. It's really it's an interesting thing. I've seen it on both the committee level and on the board level, and it's cool to see because it's like at least they're able to check their feelings at the door and move on and be okay outside of the boardroom, and they don't hold those grudges. So that's a great skill and trait to have, definitely.
I think you should say discussion instead of argument because, well, no.
I know, as it came out.
I have seen those boxing gloves. No, just kidding.
Heated discussion, yes.
I think what has been noted here is that the personalities, and in real estate, we work with many different personalities. We have it at the board. And the intentions, what I realized very early on this year with our group is it's presentation. And they do have a lot of passion. And that's why I say the young ones, you don't want those just young to getting involved. I didn't mean young in general, but young to getting involved to be intimidated. Learn those personalities and just know that that person is, as Grace said, coming from the heart, is true passion. And they walk out and say, give me a hug, do this or that. And I'm like, wow, you just did that over there. What are you talking about? Straighten up. But we do have that, and a lot of good has come out of that. Everyone brings something. And if you can not take that personal and really look into that person and see the value that they have, I think you can overcome that. And, we've got to play nice in the sandbox, but, it's only passion, truly. And people are giving of their time, they're giving of themselves and what they do bring. And so appreciative of that.
Absolutely. And a lot of the time using, the Roberts rules, that's how we function within our committees and everything. That can help kind of mitigate that discussion. We can direct it a little bit. So awesome. So I think we kind of touched on a lot of the what and what's being involved in volunteerism and everything. So now we're going to get to a lot of deadlines. Let's see. So Grace talked about the deadlines. It'll start in October, likely for applications, and then we usually wrap up hopefully by the end of December, but that does kind of vary. Does anybody want to, do you have anything else to add? Maybe are there term limits that anybody has to be aware of whenever we're, you want to continue within leadership, Grace?
I think that the most important thing to note is, yes, we have our committees, and in October, it's normally decided in November, December, but there's other ways to get involved too. So once you've sat on different committees on the state, local, national level, you can also become an NAR director. Our NAR director applications are out right now. You can move over to the MLS side of things. In the spring, we normally select our Stellar MLS directors. So sometimes applications will come out for that. We also have our District 6 Leadership Academy. If you'd like to learn more about leadership and get more involved, Florida Realtors also has their Leadership Academy. I believe that applications for that start in September, and that closes in March. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get involved, and it doesn't just have to be local. So you can think big and dream big, and eventually you could become the president of NAR and become Vince Malta and take on that responsibility if you would like. But starting local, just get involved in a committee. Again, that does come out in the fall. And then just kind of keep an eye out for different opportunities. On the state and national level as well, those committee signups come out in the spring. So March to May is normally when those are open. This year it was a little different due to COVID. They did extend those nomination timeframes, but normally it is going to be March to May. So if you are interested in getting involved on the state or national level as well, that would be awesome. And we'd love to have you represent the Greater Tampa Realtors on the state and local, or state, local, and national level too.
Ruth, did you have something to touch on?
Yes, don't be afraid at the state and national level. If you have a passion for a subject and it's not well represented at the state or local level, go to national. When I got in real estate, Florida Realtors and GTR, they were not very much involved with global. But I found my tribe at the Global Pavilion at NAR. And that's where I expanded. So know yourself, know what you like to do. If you're passionate about something, it's not work. It is fun. It is networking. And things will fall into place. When you show up, people will notice and they will invite you to participate in different things. Just find your passion and show up at any level.
Excellent, excellent. Now, does anybody want to speak about kind of their time commitment required for being in their specific leadership position? I know Ashley very briefly touched on serving as a director. You meet once a month. Maybe talk about how long these committee meetings typically last. We'll hear from Sherman, since he's vice chair of our YPN, and just talk about how we keep time managed for our committee meetings.
Perfect, sweet. So we, as YPN co-chair, we meet once a month with the committee, and it's about an hour. Sometimes it will run over, but we try to be very respectful of everyone's time, just because, hey, we know everyone's working. Outside of that, I'd say planning wise throughout the month, I would say we plan, and outside time, maybe 2 hours, 2.5, depending on the month. But one thing I really appreciate with the association is that you all, you give us, we have staff members helping us out. That's doing all the legwork. A lot of the things that we do, we could not do if we did not have staff members putting things together, coordinating everything. So I really appreciate that. So all in, as YPN co-chair, I'd say I spend roughly 3 to 5 hours a month, depending on the month and how many activities we have total.
Okay, wonderful. Now, does that differ whenever you're serving for the board? Who wants to speak to that?
So it does. I will, Marissa.
Okay.
There's different levels, and you say, there's a saying: if you want something done, give it to someone busy. So if you're busy, you step in. The different levels provide different commitments. And as you start out as a chair, vice chair, you've got that commitment to that committee and the time that has spent there. When you get to the board level, it depends on your role. But you can't be a board member one day a month. You've got some homework to do, and through COVID, there's special meetings. That's true. There's going to be situations that arise, and you've got to be prepared for that. And staff does a fabulous job, and supporting you and us, and having the groundwork covered. in noticing, getting everything pulled together. Look how we've pivoted and done Zoom. I recall back when Grace started, and she's like, not sure of this, and a week later, she's nailed it. So we pivot and we get it done and we move forward, and that's life. But the time commitment does increase as you step up. And, my day today is this here, and then, an interview, and then FR meeting this afternoon, and then a board meeting at 3. There is a day. But in between that, I'll walk the dog and do some real estate and have a great day. So, it is a commitment, but so worth it.
Absolutely. I did have a question pop into the Q&A box. They're asking, does the member of a committee need to accomplish some sort of age range? I think that might be directed towards the Young Professionals Network, but there is no age range requirement for any committee that we have. Our Young Professionals Network is titled in the way that it is because it's directed at the young at heart, at those that are maybe newer to the real estate industry, newer to the game. So at any point, we'll never ask you your age. That's not polite. So rest well, Rosa. There's no age requirements for anything.
They had to take YPN, and then they said no. He said, you're over 40. I thought I was still 39.
We need the, what is it? The SPN, Seasoned Professional Network.
Yes.
I actually just show up and learn from them.
Absolutely.
And encourage them. They're an energetic group, and I that's where our future leaders are going to be. And when you chat them up, you will find out what they like, what they do, and then you can channel them to a committee to serve GTR to make us all look good. So I just crash. I'm not on the committee, but I crash their events routinely.
That's where Ruth does all her poaching, it sounds like. Wonderful. Now we're going to just talk about the how. We did touch about how to go about applying. It goes by a nomination process. You can nominate yourself or someone else, but we'll kind of move on to how each role is filled. That's going to be a great question to kind of hear from Darlene to see how she filled each position for 2020. But even better to have, we have Ellie on, and she can talk to how she's going to be filling positions in 2021. So we have kind of a little back door over here if you're here on our panel today. So we'll hear from Darlene first, and then Ellie.
Sure, thank you. So there are stepping blocks to get involved. So there are requirements in place currently that support moving up the ladder. For instance, coming in, a Sherman Milton. Sherman, I'm picking on you today because you're awesome. So you get involved and you visit the committees and find out where your passion lies. And then you serve on that committee for a year or 2 years. Then if you want to move up to chair, vice chair, you talk to the chair, the vice chair, the president-elect, because that's where you're going to get the buy-in to say, hey, I bring value and this is why I want to step up. But the requirement to be a director at Greater Tampa today is that you must have served 2 years on a committee or have been a chair of a committee to move into a director position. So step that back, you asked, how did I go about it? We all go about it the same way. But I want to say that, and Grace will, attest to this, that I took longer than I should have to make those decisions, because I truly wanted to find those that wanted to be leaders that brought value. It wasn't about sitting down and putting my friends in place. It was about who can bring the value, and I see the passion they have for that certain committee. Staff has input there as well of what they've seen amongst those committees. But that's how the vice chairs are selected by the incoming president for the next coming year. So if you want to get involved, just say, hey, hold my hand up, I want to get involved. And someone will lead you down that path. So then you're a director, you cap out with 2 terms there, and those are 2-year terms, that's 4 years. So once you've filled a director positions, there's different requirements to step up into executive, and executive to step up to president-elect, and then of course president. But all of that is outlined in our bylaws. But in between that, as it has spoken here today, there's D6 leadership, which is amazing, and the FR Leadership Academy as well. Different opportunities out there that you can get engaged. But I would say this, who shouldn't, is the person that's not attending FR, not attending any other meetings, not truly engaged, and haven't experienced this. In 2014, I went on the first outbound trade mission. As Ruth said, we didn't have it, but this was out of South Florida, and we went to the UK. It's really reaching out, because the resources are there for you, and you will find so much information, and that connection will allow you to move up. You will learn from those. None of us have all the answers. None of us are perfect, but together we all bring something, and find it and look for it, because it is there. So if you're not engaged and truly committed to being a leader, then maybe it's not for you. But if you are reaching out and experiencing all that is out there for us in this industry, you're a true leader, and there is a path to reaching the top, and the sky's the limit. If you want to go to NAR and, you know, sit in Chicago, there you go. It gets a little cold, watch out, but you know, FR, great leadership opportunities. But I will say as well, FR, Florida Realtors, is going to a resume entry level for their committees. So if you don't have that, it's like, think back to preparing for college. You were getting your grades in order and your GPA in order, so that when a college would look at you. Get it in order right here. Let us help you on a local level, so that when you step to state, that you've got a great resume to say, hey, I bring something to the table. And it might be that you didn't gain all of it from Greater Tampa, but you brought it with you. You went to college and you had a prior career that supported you in finance or technology or whatever it is. That's valuable. That's huge. They're just looking for those leaders that bring value. And so are we.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I went too far there, but thank you.
Oh, you said it all, Darlene. I mean, I really don't know what would be left to say, Marissa, because Darlene really, I mean, she covered it all. We couldn't do what we do without staff. They help guide us, you know, giving us what our roles are, and when we have what the timeline is for choosing, you know, what our responsibilities are with choosing, you know, directors and things like that, Florida directors. And the passion, I think, is something that as leaders, we all look for when we're looking to mentor or bring up, or it's the ask. We all as leaders should be asking, you know, reaching the hand out and then bringing the next one up. But as far as choosing, Darlene got it. She covered it. Bylaws and policy dictate a lot of the protocol of how we have to do things.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up with one final question for today. Anand kind of posted in the Q&A, and he was appreciative about how you outlined, you know, the friendships and the personal development that come from volunteering and putting on your volunteer hat, trying to be selfless, as Ruth said. Can you talk a little bit to how being involved as a committee member or on the leadership has impacted your business directly? We'll start with Ruth for that question.
Okay. Being involved in leadership makes me a better broker. Mm-hmm. For example, and you learn from people all over the country. And for example, when I first started going to NAR back in the in 2000. There weren't that many people from Florida Realtor, from Florida period, that were there. So anybody that had a referral coming to Florida, they reached out to me. I was able to subsidize my trips to midwinter meetings and NAR for years based on the business I got. It doesn't always, now you have a lot of competition because a lot of people are engaged. But when you go outside this network, people like to do business with people they know and like. I don't do any global referrals unless I've sat with them at the Global Pavilion at NAR and figure out how committed they are. Will they take care of my customers? You gain so much by just going out there, showing up on time, listening to understand, and things just work out.
Excellent. Does anybody else want to touch on how volunteering has positively impacted them?
I think that they've spoke on, the topics that truly benefit us. And I can say, just in the last month, I had a big situation arise that I needed a vendor. And that vendor was one of our affiliates that I had engaged with at an event. And out of that, he paid for a large sponsorship of the business that I gave him because I respected him. As Ruth said, I sat with him, I knew him, and I connected him with a client. It's beyond that as well. And, sitting in some of these committee meetings at a state and national level, you acquire so much information that you can utilize in your business. But I too have those that I reach out to that will take my back, and I can refer a client. I can refer business locally in the state or nationally. And that's truly been a big eye-opener for me. But I can't say enough how much knowledge I've gained by being involved and engaged. The think tanks that we have at Florida Realtors on, this year was flood insurance, our homeowners insurance, all of those personal property rights that are so important to our business. There's a wealth of knowledge there, and you don't get it unless you're involved and engaged or you're researching on your own. So it has benefited me in that way.
Excellent. Grace?
I think on the staff side too, it's really fun to watch our leaders come up from coming to their first committee meeting just as a guest to sitting on the committee, and then even getting onto the board of directors and going to the state and national different events that happen. It's really cool to watch them grow and how excited everybody is to come back to the association. I mean, after our Florida meetings and our NAR meetings, I'll have some of our members that'll come to me and be like, oh my gosh, I just learned the coolest thing and we need to bring this back to GTR. So that's really fun to watch. And also just from the staff side, I have learned more, I think, about working with different personalities and more about the history of GTR and different ways of looking at things by working with our different committees. I mean, I am staff liaison to 11 committees right now. That's, I would say 200, I think, different volunteers. That's 200 different personalities, 200 different backgrounds. And it's just so cool to be able to interact with all these different people. And all those different personalities are what gets the job done at GTR. I have my own way of thinking of things, and just getting those different perspectives is what makes those events and classes and meetings and really cool initiatives even greater. I mean, we have some really cool events that are coming up, and it's not because I took it back from the committee and did it myself. I got different opinions from all of the different committee members, and they were all able to put in their different information. So I think that that's one of the cooler things, is watching something grow into something big, because you have all of these different personalities and all these different groups that are involved. And then also, if you want to learn how to interact with a bunch of different personalities, join a bunch of different committees and you'll learn real quick. So it's fun. It's fun to watch.
Awesome. I think that kind of wraps it up. We appreciate all of our panelists for joining us today. I think that we got across a lot of really helpful tips and tools for getting involved. I see Aminta right now commenting the same. So this is recorded. It will be available on our social platforms shortly after it goes through the editing process, so you can review it a little bit later. If you do have any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out to me at marissa@tamparealtors.org, and I can forward that over to the appropriate party. I'd be happy to answer any questions that maybe didn't get touched on today. But without further ado, we just want to make sure you're aware of our next YPN event, which will be our virtual Real Tour in just actually exactly a week. It'll be on September 17th at 2 p.m. We'll be touring 3 different communities. And then we wanted to thank our sponsors for today's event once more. We had Victor Arello of Freedom Mortgage, a platinum partner, join us, as well as Bridget Jenkins Wilson of Cardinal Roofing and Solar Technologies. But without further ado, we'll bid you adieu and have a great day.
Thank you,
everyone.
Great job, Marissa.
Thank you,
everyone.